Wow, that's like a 3-hour tour, but I'm all in. Here we go. Everything we do at the Rescue Mission is a first touch ministry, as some of you who have visited here have seen. So if you're coming in for food, our ultimate goal is to provide you a meal so that we can become relational with you and get you the help that you need someday. We are also the sobering center for the city of Fresno. So if someone is drunk in public and they get picked up out in the city, they are brought to the Rescue Mission instead of getting booked. And that, again, is a first touch. Instead of being booked and just sitting in a drunk tank, you come to the mission, and it gives us a chance to take you into a sober state and get you the help that you need. Emergency services with case management. Anytime you ring the doorbell, we're providing services for you. We're also the respite center for the Central Valley hospitals. So if you're homeless and you have surgery in a hospital, when you discharge, you come to the Rescue Mission. And then we provide respite care. And from there, we offer you case management. Again, a first touch, trying to constantly get you up the chain and back into society. Addiction recovery, 18-month programs for both men and women with children. So that's the small breadth of what we do on a daily basis, the services we provide.
How stable are they when they first enter the program versus when they leave? And do you see them actually trying to achieve independence?
Wholeheartedly. So, to answer your first question, they are very unstable when they get here. I can introduce you to a few that got here yesterday. Quite unstable folks, as far as we would consider stability. And when they leave here, they are healthier than when they got here. Because it takes the brain a long time, just like it takes the body a long time to heal. Imagine you've been doing meth since you were 13 with your mom, right? Because it's true. And then now you're 40, and that whole time your brain has been filled with drugs. So not only is your body ruined, your teeth are ruined, everything about you is shutting down per se. So now you have to recover, really recover. And physically it's difficult, mentally it's difficult. 3 things, to answer the second part of your question, 3 things that a disciple will leave us with: a job, a GED, and a place to live. Otherwise they never leave the mission, stay here for the rest of their lives. No, they will. But those are 3 things we guarantee they will have by the time they leave. And in order to have a sober mind, they would need a sober mind to have all 3 of those things.
What kind of situations have you personally had to handle regarding homeless people?
A lot of it is trespassing on private property, businesses and whatnot, panhandling on property, and the business owners don't want them there. Sleeping on private property, building encampments on private property or in vacant fields behind residents, a lot of drunk and disorderly, passed out on sidewalks, and also they cause a lot of traffic hazards because they tend not to use crosswalks. That's crossing major streets like Blackstone or Shaw. They dart right across with their carts intoxicated, and we've had quite a few of them hit and killed by vehicles, and a lot of it's always their fault.
And I have one last question. I don't think you covered it. Is there many cases, or what do you think, like the percentages of cases where the homeless person is violent and they have to be apprehended and with force? Do you tend to see violence?
Yeah, there are a select few out there. We're dealing with them. We know them on first name basis, and when we do have to, either one, take them in custody because they're a danger to themselves for being intoxicated, or if they were caught shoplifting, or if they're just refusing to leave private property and we have to take them into custody. There are a select few that can get violent, and because a lot of times they are intoxicated or have drugs on board, and they're just real agitated, and there's been instances in the past where officers had to use physical force against them, but nothing that we have, no officers have been seriously injured against, with that. They don't usually have any type of firearms on anything. They do have knives and clubs and things they dig in the dumpsters with that can be dangerous, but amongst themselves they've been violent with each other. The homeless do have a code on the street where if all their personal property is in some encampment or they left their cart somewhere, they homeless on the street have their own code that nobody's supposed to touch another person's stuff, and then when they do, we've had some assaults among the homeless people amongst themselves, where one guy was actually stabbed a guy with a sword. So, and that guy's still in prison today. So, yeah, they can be violent, but a lot of them are pretty cooperative when we get on scene and tell them they have to leave the property, and they just walk away on their own with no problems.
A way to prevent homelessness is to not give the homeless people begging any money or any food, because it enables them into thinking that living on the streets is okay, and it also provides the money to feed their addictions for alcohol and any drugs that they are addicted to.
To prevent homelessness, education is a big factor because it allows the homeless people to get off the streets and re-enter society because they have the opportunity to get a job.
Guiding homeless people towards homeless shelters and rehab centers is a good way to help them re-enter society.